Alright, welcome to the video on creating a Khan Academy account. So here we are. One more time, if you are not familiar how to get to this page, please watch the video titled Blackboard, and it'll walk you through how to enroll in the class and get to the home page of your specific math class. Okay, once we're there, there's going to be a number of times that we'll be using something called Khan Academy here in this course. And what Khan Academy is, it's a wonderful website. So let me open it up real fast. Khan Academy. KhanAcademy.org. And in it, so go ahead and Khan, K-H-A-N Academy, so ACADEMY.org. And this is another wonderful free tool that we have online. So here, let me walk you through it. Now, what Khan Academy is, so once you're on that home screen, scroll down a little bit. It has all sorts of videos on mathematics, science, some computer science, even some history and art videos. And you can go ahead and just explore Khan Academy a little bit. Though what we'll be using it for, obviously, is for math. And in it, not only are there videos of walking through and kind of teaching some different concepts, and so we'll link to some different videos that maybe, hey, he presents it just a little bit differently, and maybe that's useful to you, and so we want to give you some extra resources here. But there's also going to be a wonderful exercise engine to help you practice problems, and it's not exhaustive. It doesn't cover every single topic that we'll cover in class, but it does have quite a few great exercises that will not only tell you whether or not you're right or wrong, so it'll let you know if the answer is correct or not, just kind of like how your odd answers are in the back of the book, but it'll also give you hints if you're stuck. And so it's one last time, it's a wonderful tool. It's kind of like having a free tutor right there in your room 24/7. So or there at your computer 24/7. So here, let me walk you through creating an account. Now, I'm going to very highly recommend you do not sign in with Facebook or with Google. There will be times that we may use Khan Academy at school, and just through the different blocks on the school internet, students have had difficulties if they go either way here. Now, that doesn't mean you can't sign in with your Gmail, but specifically, I would not use the sign in with Google option. So I'm going to click on login here and go to sign up. And so I'll say this probably a couple more times. I would not ever use these buttons of Google or Facebook. Just students tend to have problems when they do. And so we're going to click on sign up though, create a new account, and sign up using our email. So it's right below the two buttons that we're not going to use. But right here, sign up using email. In here, you're going to hit in your name, your last name, your email address, and your birthday, and then it's going to send an email to you, and that you can open up, and it's just confirming that you want to, in fact, use Khan Academy. And so you'll go into your own personal email after you've after you filled this form out, and click Get Started. Click the link on there, and what it's going to do is open up your account. So let me go ahead and log in. And when you log in, you'll see something looking like this. Your name should be up here at the top, and there's going to be two things that we need to do to be able to use Khan Academy for our course. So first, click on your name. It'll bring up this little tab here, and click on your name once again. This will bring you to your personal profile screen. Now this is very, very important here. Your name needs to be capital last name, comma, space, capital first name. For some reason, I'm not sure exactly why, Khan Academy alphabetizes differently, whether or not it's a capital or lowercase letter. So everybody in the course needs to have, again, capital first letter of your last name, comma, space, capital first letter of your first name. And once you've fixed that, click Save. That'll change this right here. And the next thing you need to do is add me as your coach. or add your teacher as your coach if this is a video for somebody else's class. To do that, again, from your profile screen, you're going to go down to the bottom left where it says Coaches. Click on that, and in here, you normally will not have this part here yet, but you're going to type in my school email. So lfletcher@rjuhsd.us, and click Join Class. Once you click Join Class, it'll show my name should show up there as being your coach. Now what that's going to do is let me see the progress you're making on Khan Academy. If you're watching videos, I'll see that. If you're working on exercises, I'll see that as well. And so let's give you a quick view of what you'll see. So for example, skill progress. So I've clicked on skill progress here. And so here's all the exercises that I've done at some point. And so we've got a sampling of the different things you'll see. Before you've started an exercise, they'll just be white. It means that you haven't tried it at all. I'll be assigning specific assignments online as we go along, and so when you try them, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit, they'll either show up as blank. If you've just started, you've only tried a few problems, then it will be this light blue. Once you've shown that you're doing the problems well, that you're proficient at it, you understand one of the concepts, it'll fill up to this dark blue. After a while, if you haven't practiced the idea or practiced the concept, after time, it'll change to this orange, which just means that you need to review the concept. You haven't worked on it for a while. And lastly, red. The red's for something you're struggling on. You're trying it, it's just not working out well for you. So, and that lets all this information gets fed over to me as your teacher, which the Khan Academy is going to call coaches, and that information is fed over to me to help you individually, help your child individually really understand where he or she is at. All right, so let's look at some of the exercises. Now the way this is going to work out is that from Blackboard, so I'm back here to the Blackboard homepage, there will be times where we have class files, and let's go look at Unit 1. So these will be given specifically. We'll tell your child where to go, but for this one in particular, I went to Class Files and up to Unit 1. So here at the beginning of the course. And here are some of the exercises that Khan Academy has for the concepts we'll be covering in this chapter. So we've got, let's go with, let's see, we'll just do slope-intercept form. And it's opening an exercise for us here. And we've got this equation, it's about to show up. So we need to figure out what the equation of a line is that goes through the points 7, -7, and 8, -9, when it's written in slope-intercept form, in our y equals mx plus b. The answer we'll type in over here with our slope and then our y-intercept. There's a few different things you can do on Khan Academy. If really it's best to just write all your work on paper there as you look on the computer, but it is possible to click on that show scratchpad and to write right on the screen with your mouse. So that's something that you can do if that's helpful for you if you don't have paper available. Next, if you're watching and it looks familiar but you just can't remember, embedded into the page that you're linked to will be a video, and you can click on that, and that video will walk you through the concept that's being shown here and help you just help you understand what it's asking. Another thing is that it's this button here that says I'd like a hint. If you can't figure out what to do, this is where one of the great strengths of Khan Academy is that you've got a tutor right here in there. So I'd like a hint. Let's say I'm not sure what to do. So we'll click that button, and it's showing us the graph now. Okay, so here's a line that goes through those 2 points. I'm still stuck. I need some more hints. And this one in particular looks like it has 8 hints we can go through, and it's going to show me how to find slope, how to do the next thing, how to do the next thing as you go through. And hopefully eventually you're seeing where it is that you're stuck. But even if you're completely lost all the way through, it'll walk you through that entire problem down to that last answer. So cheating here a little bit. -2 and then +7. I'm going to type that in wrong at the beginning, so let's put +6. So if you put in an answer that's incorrect, and it says check answer, you notice maybe that the little button here kind of shook its head left and right and saying that that's not correct. And so it'll let you know immediately what problems you're doing well, which ones you're struggling with. Now once you get the answer correct, it gives you a little smiley face. Now notice that I have one leaf here, and there's 3 possible leaves. To get completed with a topic, you want to get as many 3 leaves as you can. That's when you're really understanding it. You're not needing to click on the hints. You're getting answers correct the first time. And that's how you're going to fill up your card. Now I'm going to find another exercise here to show you kind of what happens at the end once you've completed 8 cards here. So I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, so here we go. And so I've gone to an exercise that I hadn't done before, and so hopefully with that first missed problem, it won't fill this bar all the way up. But once you get to the end, so you're going to get problems, 8 problems in a row, and that'll kind of complete a set. Now when you click on your last answer, and that's finishing the last one, it's going to tell you it's counting your hard-earned leaves. And now notice how that bar filled up right here. And it got very close to the end. This right now is still going to show up as that light blue that we were looking at a little bit earlier. We haven't got completely to proficient. The way to get to proficient is to go ahead and do another stack. I'm going to pause one more time, complete another set, and then show you what happens right after that. Alright, so here we are. Just about to complete another set, and this time when we finish this last one, what's going to happen is that bar that was not quite filled before has now filled up that last little piece. And notice now it's that dark blue. Now it really is looking for a very strong and proficient understanding. So there's times that you can miss even just one problem, and it will want you to complete an entire another set. So be careful. I very much encourage your students to not to rush, to actually work the problems out on paper, to be careful about what they're typing in. It'll just save them a lot of time in the long run. Checking those hints is a great idea at the beginning, and if they're stuck later on, then it's still a great idea. It will slow down the progress towards getting a completed proficient bar, just as a heads up though. Alright, so there's Khan Academy kind of in a nutshell. Any questions you're having, again, make sure you're asking, and this will not be a daily thing. Sometimes it'll just be a recommendation, hey, you should practice these ones. Sometimes it will be as an assignment, but that's Khan Academy. So I hope that helps.